In videos 1 and 2, we learned where resiniferatoxin comes from, what makes it chemically extraordinary, and how it silences pain at the nerve terminal level, with a selectivity that no current drug can match. Today we leave the lab behind and walk into the clinic, because all the elegant chemistry and cell biology in the world means nothing until you ask, does this actually help people? Real people. People who are suffering. People who have tried everything. And for a group of 19 patients at the NIH Clinical Center in Bethesda, people with advanced cancers and pain that could not be controlled, this question was finally answered. The team behind this work is led by 2 scientists at the NIH Clinical Center's Department of Perioperative Medicine. Dr. Andrew Manis is chief of that department and the lead author on the landmark 2025 study. Dr. Michael Iadarola is a senior research scientist who has been working on vanilloid compounds and pain biology for decades. Together, they've spent years translating RTX from a fascinating laboratory curiosity into a viable human medicine. Their approach was careful and incremental, exactly what you want to see. Rat models first, then naturally occurring canine cancer, because dogs get the same kinds of bone tumors as humans. And their pain biology is remarkably similar. Only when those results were consistent and the safety profile looked acceptable did they move to human beings. Who was eligible for this study? The criteria were specific. Patients with advanced cancer, with pain localized to the abdomen or lower extremities, pain that had failed comprehensive medical management, including opioids. These were patients in the 15% of cancer pain sufferers who couldn't find relief from standard care. 19 patients enrolled. Each received a single intrathecal injection, meaning RTX was delivered directly into the lumbar cerebrospinal fluid via lumbar puncture, not a pill, not an IV infusion. A precisely administered one-time injection into the fluid surrounding the lower spinal cord. The rationale: inject RTX into the CSF near the lumbosacral spinal cord, and it bathes the dorsal root ganglia. RTX binds to TRPV1 on those specific neurons, and they go quiet. The results, published in NEJM Evidence in 2025, were striking. Worst pain intensity, measured on a numerical rating scale, dropped by 38%. Opioid use dropped by 57%. And Dr. Manis described the timeline in a way that stopped me when I read it. He said, the effects are immediate. Think about what that means for these patients. People who had been escalating through opioid doses, sedated for much of the day, unable to have a coherent conversation with their families. After a single injection, their pain dropped significantly and they needed far less medication to manage what remained. They were present again. They could engage. On the osteoarthritis front, pharmaceutical company Grunenthal is running a phase 3 program, over 1,800 patients across roughly 200 sites worldwide. Sites in Europe, the US, Latin America, South Africa, and Japan. Intra-articular RTX, injected directly into the knee joint, has shown effects lasting up to 6 months to a year. RTX received FDA Breakthrough Therapy designation for this indication, which means the FDA considers it a potentially significant improvement over available therapy. I want to speak directly to anyone watching this who is managing chronic pain, and especially those who found stability and quality of life through opioid therapy. You've heard about new treatments before, and you've learned, sometimes painfully, that promising doesn't mean available, and better for some people doesn't mean better for you. I want to be honest with you about RTX in the same spirit. RTX is not a replacement for what's working. Opioids work systemically. They change how your entire nervous system processes pain. RTX works at a specific anatomical site. It's for localized, identifiable pain, especially cancer pain and severe osteoarthritis. If you're doing well on your current regimen, there is no urgent reason to consider this. But for people in the community whose pain has outrun their medications, this is news that deserves attention and hope. The science is rigorous, the researchers are serious, and the results are real. Beyond cancer and osteoarthritis, researchers are exploring RTX for chronic neuromas, post-surgical pain, and trigeminal neuralgia, a famously treatment-resistant facial pain condition. Dr. Iadarola has said that the ability to target specific nerve pathways makes RTX a tool for personalized pain medicine in a way that's genuinely new. From a plant that's been growing on the slopes of the Atlas Mountains for thousands of years, through a Nobel Prize discovery, through decades of careful science, into a clinical trial that gave 19 desperate patients their lives back, even briefly. Resiniferatoxin is not a cure-all. It's not magic, but it is something rare in medicine, a genuinely new idea. And if you found this series useful, please share it, like the videos, leave a comment. The chronic pain community deserves good science communicated clearly. We'll continue covering stories like this. For more, visit us at unbedsidemanners.com. I'm your host. Thanks for watching.